welcome. It is Friday Eve. It is still hot in H-Town, but I am KG Chris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. It's time for another edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E. Thank you, as always, to my man AJ Jones for allowing me this platform to share my thoughts and opinions with you. It's going to be an action-packed. It's going to be an hour because I don't have the end video to play. So it's me and you for the next 59 minutes and change. But this is the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the lunch break, powered by JM&E, and you're watching it everywhere. You're watching it on Facebook, YouTube, via the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, Fire TV, Twitch, Twitter, and of course on Roku, as we're doing live right now. Roku via the BS3 network. Get that BS3 app downloaded on Roku, or just go to bs3network.com, or of course bs3tvlive.com. I am back from Las Vegas in the Big 12 football media days. When I left H-Town, I had no power. I turned off the AC and all the electricals because you never know what the surges, protectors, all that kind of stuff doesn't work, as I found out in May. Came back late Wednesday, midnight, whatever. I never received a notification from Centerpoint that my power had been restored. But thankfully, when I pulled up to the house, I saw my lamp light was on. So, hey, I got power. But since the AC was off, it was a robust 90 degrees inside the house. 90. Not quite Vegas hot of 115, but you get the idea. All right, let's talk some hoops. Got some Big 12 news to share, but first things first. Going to share Rocket news. Not much Coug news, although we'll say this. I did get approval to cover and attend the TBT tournament that starts next Friday. Was it Friday? Yeah, Friday, July 19th, inside Fertitta Center. The Forever Cougs are hosting the Houston Regional, so I will be covering that. But now let's talk some Rockets. Rockets in the news. It's almost that time for the Rockets and some folks' favorite basketball action. Summer League, not mine, but anyway. Rockets announced on Tuesday they had signed center N'Faly Dante to a two-way contract. Dante, 6'11", 265, was eligible for the 2024 NBA draft following his graduate season at Oregon. He was named All Pac-12 First Team in each of his final two seasons, and he was a Pac-12 All Defensive Team selection in 2023-24. Look at these numbers he posted last season with the Ducks. Dante averaged 17 points, 9.2 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 1.9 blocks, and 1.7 steals. All of that while shooting almost 70% from the floor. He's one of 9 players to do that in like the last 30 years in college. Dante was born in Mali, which is located in West Africa. He competed in the Nike Hoops Summit in both 2018 and 2019. And here's some info in case you don't know. In the NBA, what? Allergies and everything kicking me right now. Excuse me. A two-way contract is a contract that allows players to suit up for both an NBA team and that team's NBA G League affiliate. Each team is allowed to have a maximum of 3 players on two-way deals at the same time. Two-way contracts are available to players with up to 3 years of NBA experience. Players on two-way contracts are also limited to a maximum of 50 games with their NBA team. And clearly, because the Rockets signed N'Faly to a two-way deal, he is also on the Rockets Summer League roster, which was announced. Camp Summer League for the Rockets, July 12th through the 22nd, taking place. All the Rockets games will be at Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. Here's the roster. Joining N'Faly Dante, new acquisition, AJ Griffin, Houston Cougars' own Nate Hinton, Trevor Keels from Duke, Kyra Lewis Jr., Mike Miles, TCU. Folks who follow Texas high school hoops know him as well. Orlando Robinson, Jermaine Samuels Jr., a certain young man who was drafted third by the Rockets in this draft, Reed Shepard, Morris Udeze, Shahada Wells, another Houston Cougar, Fabian White Jr., Cam Whitmore, Nate Williams, and love this name right here from this young man, Vontarius Woolbright. Gotta love it, Vontarius Woolbright. Those are the 15 young men who are scheduled to participate in Vegas at the Rocket Summer League. Tips off, as this next slide indicates, Rocket schedule. Rockets play Friday, July 12th. First game for them against Bronny, the Lakers in Dalton Connect. I know y'all looking forward to it. Y'all are hyped about it. I'm sure you are. Game will be on ESPN, tipping off at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Then, Sunday, July 14th, the Summer Rockets, will play the Summer Washington Wizards, 5 p.m. on ESPN2. Monday, July 15th, the Summer Rockets will face the Summer Detroit Pistons, including former Houston Cougar Marcus Sasser. His second year in the NBA, Marcus is expected to play probably 1 or 2 games of Summer League to see how he's adjusting to NBA action going into his second full season in the NBA. Thursday, July 18th, the Summer Rockets will face the Summer Timberwolves, 10 o'clock Central on ESPN. And then game 5 is to be determined based on what the Rockets do in their first 4 games. If they advance to the playoffs of Summer League, they will do that. If not, then they'll play a 5th game, as every team participating in Summer League will play at least 5 games. The top 4 teams will advance to the playoffs for a semifinal matchups, and then the winners of that will meet in the championship game on Monday, July 22nd. And y'all know, I think the Summer Rockets did that thing last year, and they advanced to the title game last year. They did not win it all, but they made it to the championship game last summer. So we'll see what they can do in the next few days. And reminder to Rocket fans who are joining this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. The next edition of Let's Talk Houston Rockets live stream will take place Friday after the Rockets meeting and matchup against the Summer Lakers. So that should be, maybe 9 o'clock Central Time for the next edition of that live stream show. Available, of course, on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. I'm going to take a moment. It's news now. Yahoo Sports, Ross Dellinger, I guess, said yesterday while he was in Vegas, perhaps, I don't know. I saw John Kurtz, who covers the Big 12, covers the K-State, Kansas State Wildcats, but also has a respectable podcast show. Ross Dellinger said that the Big 12, Commissioner Brett Yormark, Big 12 people are in, quote, early discussions with Florida State and Clemson about possibly joining the Big 12 in the future. That was yesterday. Reported out, came out late last night, tweeted it. That's July 10th. Today is July 11th. As my man Willie Gibson knows, colleague, co-host of our Folks Talking Sports live stream show, on June 24th, episode 129, toward the end of that episode, the final 10 to 15 minutes of that show, check out what we discussed. And I flip it around here. Okay, you're a Big Ten guy.
Nope.
I was going to say, will the Big Ten want Florida State or Clemson?
No.
Will the Big Ten want North Carolina?
That's a possibility.
Okay, fair enough.
Carolina and Duke.
Fair enough. So, if the Big Ten does not want Florida State and Clemson, I'm not certain. Oh, I'll get back to it. Question for you, sir. Will you be attending the Grambling Ohio State game?
Next year, yep.
So looking forward to that. Any word yet on the band? Will the band be there yet?
Have not heard yet. I did confirm. I talked the cost is $1 million. So Grambling will receive. I believe their football budget for this year was last year was $4.7 million. So $1 million next year will go to Grambling for them to come up here and suit up against the Buckeyes.
Yes, play the third and fourth string Buckeyes. Yes.
I didn't say that. You said that.
I said that. Yeah. But yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if the Big Ten does not want Florida State and Clemson, I'm not certain the SEC would want Florida State and Clemson.
No, I agree with that.
Then what?
There lies the issue.
Because I didn't watch it. The person who put it out there is really things kind of shaky on their sources of info and stuff. Brett Yormark would take Florida State and Clemson.
I believe it.
But the money wouldn't be nearly what they could get from the Big Ten or SEC. Right?
Oh, without question. I agree. Yeah.
Unless, of course, this is all part of his master plan of private equity.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's where he's going, because the Weatherfords, Drew and his brothers, have their own private capital company, corporation, whatever, which Florida State is linked. Drew Weatherford is a Florida State alum, played QB there.
Really? Player, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's part of Commissioner Yormark's 3D chess.
It's possible.
So we'll see. But yeah, the Big Ten, and first things first, Florida State and Clemson, they have to resolve their court cases with the ACC first and foremost before anybody considers having them as membership. So when that is resolved, time will tell. We shall see. That was June 24th when Willie Gibson and I discussed Big 12, Florida State, Clemson, Commissioner Yormark's possible ultimate plan for more money for the conference members, more money for Florida State, Clemson, et cetera, and private equity, private capital. June 24th. This week, on day one of the football media days in Vegas, Commissioner Yormark gave an update regarding private equity and the Big 12. Here is the question from a colleague. You mentioned private equity as part of your opening statement. I'm curious. One, what does the model look like in college sports that makes sense? And two, how does the Big 12 kind of work with private equity in a way that doesn't create major long-term liabilities, especially? The commissioner's answer: I'm not going to get into too much of a conversation on private equity, but as I said earlier, we're exploring all options. I do believe that given where we are, the industry, having a capital resource as a partner makes a ton of sense. That's really how you conduct good business. I really believe that. He continues, and if you see where private equity is kind of making a path into professional sports, At some point in time, it's going to come here into intercollegiate athletics. We are exploring what that might look like, and a structure and a model of what that looks like is going to be critically important so that we're not compromising the long-term future of the conference. And we have surrounded ourselves with subject matter experts as we vet out the possibilities, and whatever we do is going to have to benefit the conference, both short term and long term. Provide optionality for our schools. And we're not there yet, but we are exploring the different options and the different structures that best suit our conference and our schools. Commissioner Brett Yormark said that while he was on stage Tuesday, July 9th, during his opening comments to the media at the Big 12's Football Media Day. Shout out to Boom Boom from the first comment, made 2 comments. Florida State at Clemson would be a huge coup, although, this is fair, it may be positioning to get the SEC to make a move to grab them. Could be. There is precedent for member schools who are in the same state to join the SEC, much to the chagrin of Texas A&M, because the Texas Longhorns are now members of the SEC. South Carolina would probably put up a stink with Clemson joining, but again, if the SEC wants Florida State and Clemson, which I'm not sure they do, but it's at some point they do, Clemson, you just stay over. South Carolina, you just stay over there in the corner. We're bringing in Clemson. Like it, don't like it, it's going to happen. Same with Florida. Florida, you don't like it, Florida State's joining, whatever. Go stand over there in the corner with South Carolina. We're bringing in Seminoles. But I'm not sure that's going to happen. Time will tell. And this also if that does happen, well, Florida State and Clemson will leave the ACC as it's currently constructed. It's just a matter of when. It's not if, when. Now, that might mean leaving and joining another conference. It might mean tearing down this current version of the ACC and creating a new ACC. But this ACC with the new members on the West Coast in Texas, SMU, Stanford, and Cal, this current ACC will not be, Florida State and Clemson will not be part of this going forward. Just a matter of when. And then, as Boom Boom adds, SMU would get relegated back to G5 status. With all that money they've spent, that massive influx of money, that $100 million they raised, the donors, 7 to 10 donors raised $100 million in a week. You've now raised more than 150 overall to join, to be members of the ACC. Well, y'all want to be kings of what basically will become a G5 conference. Good on you. Whatever. Keep them coming. Keep those comments coming. Boom, boom. Folks watching on YouTube on the Houston Roundball Review, get you a mug so you can do what I'm about to do. Cheers. Or new feature, something easy. If you're not big on the Cash App stuff, you don't believe in PayPal or anything like that, you can do Zelle and support the Roundball Review that way. Houston Roundball Review at gmail.com. So I love Zelle. Simple, secure. There you go. One more time, Houston Roundball Review at gmail.com. The Big 12 was not done making news. Commissioner Yormark is on it. And, how should I reference this? Let's see. And I'm curious. Boom, boom. Everybody watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Fire TV, Roku via BS3 network. How many of y'all have heard of TuneIn, the TuneIn platform, the TuneIn audio platform? And if you've heard of it, how many of you use it or have used it? I used it. Only time I used it really was when I uploaded the audio versions of some of my podcasts back in the day. I may have used it. Oh, wow. Probably count on one hand the number of times I used it for anything outside of uploading podcast audio versions of my podcast. That might change. It's going to have to change if you are a fan of the Big 12 and want to get more info and content about your favorite Big 12 team. Because Commissioner Yormark, the Big 12, announced a partnership with TuneIn. The Big 12 is leaving Sirius XM, which I kind of was bummed about because I liked the Big 12 Now channel, the Big 12 channel on Sirius XM. But that is ending. As announced, TuneIn, the world's leader in live audio, and the Big 12 Conference announced that TuneIn is the new audio home of the Big 12. As part of the new partnership, they will launch a 24/7 conference-branded audio station on TuneIn ahead of the Big 12's college football season kickoff on August 29th. I'm going to stop right there for just a quick moment. TuneIn was set up at a station platform at the Big 12 Football Media Days, right next to Sirius XM. So part of the car wash for the coaches and players who were attending the Big 12 Football Media Days, they went from TuneIn, then they went to Sirius XM, and then they proceeded down for the breakout sessions to talk to members of the media. Yesterday, Wednesday, July 10th, I overheard one of the TuneIn people say that exclusively TuneIn Big 12 will begin soon. And I'm like, soon? I thought this was going to be in August for football season. I talked to another TuneIn person, and he said that the relationship would start Thursday. Well, that's today, July 11th. So we'll see. But back to it. TuneIn is home to live sports from the top leagues and conferences with comprehensive access to local and national sports talk content. TuneIn Premium, here's the price points if you want to get the premium package, is $9.99 per month or $79.99 per year. It offers listeners coverage of football and men's and women's basketball games from 100 plus Division I NCAA programs. Quote from the Commissioner, Brett Yormark, "I'm thrilled to partner with the entire TuneIn team. TuneIn will be an incredible resource and platform for the Big 12 as we continue to advance our narrative and extend our reach." Quote from Tyrell Kirkham, Chief Marketing Officer of the Big 12, who I have interviewed, and that interview is available on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. And on a side note, I spoke with Tyrell the last 2 days in Vegas. Tyrell used to work before he joined the Big 12 as CMO for the Detroit Pistons organization. So we have that in common. So every so often we discuss the Pistons. And in fact, we talked about, he asked me my thoughts on the changes in leadership and the moves that the Pistons have made the last few days. Small world. Small world. So I'm just saying, if I say certain things on these platforms, it's not like I'm pulling stuff out of my butt. Okay? Just keep that in mind. 30 years been doing this. 30 years. A quote from Tyrell Kirkham. TuneIn allows us to connect across a variety of platforms, delivering around-the-clock commentary and coverage of Big 12 sporting events. TuneIn is a leader in sports audio coverage, making them an ideal partner to expand our content offerings and reach to sports fans, whether they're at home, at a tailgate, or on the road, end quote. In addition to the launch of the 24/7 station, TuneIn Premium will be home to live game commentary for football and men's and women's basketball from Big 12 schools. Hey, that means the Cougars, the Hueys, will be on TuneIn Audio. Quote from CEO of TuneIn, Rich Stern: "The Big 12 is a dominant force in college sports, drawing loyal fans and alumni to each event from around the world. We're glad to make TuneIn the home for Big 12 sports coverage, underscoring our dedication to being the premier destination for sports audio coverage of the largest leagues and events. This commitment ensures that fans stay deeply connected to the teams and games they are passionate about, no matter where they are," end quote. According to Sports Business Journal's Ben Portnoy, singer and songwriter Garth Brooks, an Oklahoma State alum and member of the conference's Business Advisory Board, helped facilitate this deal between TuneIn and the Big 12. Dallas Mavericks head coach Jason Kidd is also part of the board. The 2024 season marks the Big 12's first as a 16-team league and features several key matchups with the Big 12 championship to take place on December 7th. With over 200 major platforms and devices, TuneIn is accessible to a wide audience. To learn more about TuneIn and its coverage of the Big 12 Conference, please visit tunein.com/Big 12 Radio. So there you go with that. And I posted it, the link to that. I just said tunein.com/Big 12 Radio on Twitter at the HR Review, as well as on my Threads account, which is Houston Roundball Review. The link is there. It's right now. When I posted earlier this morning, it's basically audio of give you an idea of what it will offer. More details to come in the future regarding, I think, coming soon announcement. Basically, it's a coming soon announcement for the Big 12 on TuneIn. But just another idea, connection that the commissioner, Brett Yormark, has brought forward for the conference and its member schools. So we'll see how it all pays off. But yes, the Big 12 relationship with SiriusXM is ending, and the Big 12 has begun its partnership with TuneIn for its audio coverage for its teams. So there you go. All right, next, let's see if I can find it here. Curious here. A little teaser right there, in case you saw it, missed, Have you heard of the FAST or a FAST channel? Have you used Pluto TV? Have you used like the Roku channel? Have you used Tubi? Those are ideas of a FAST channel. Brett Yormark, during his talk at the Football Media Days, mentioned the Big 12 was in discussions to establish its own FAST channel. And I'm going to provide some more info about that. But right now, I'm going to play a quick promo of for the BS3 network, because BS3, where we are changing the way you watch TV, is making this possible. Today's show, today's Houston Roundball Review takeover of the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on all the platforms, courtesy of BS3. So here is a quick note to give you an idea of what BS3 Network, BS3 TV is all about. Be back in less than 40 seconds.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome back to this edition of the Houston Roundball Review takeover of the lunch break, powered by JM&E. I am, of course, KG, Chris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. You're watching this edition of the takeover on YouTube, courtesy of the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, Twitch, Twitter, Fire TV, Facebook, and of course, Roku, courtesy of BS3 TV. If you have a Roku streaming device, just download BS3 TV. If you don't, you can just go to bs3network.com or bs3tvlive.com. Before that quick break, I hinted at the discussions that Commissioner Brett Yormark, Big 12 Commish, Brett Yormark mentioned in Vegas at the Big 12's football media days, that the Big 12 was in discussions to create and establish its own FAST channel. Here's a quote from the commissioner. Additionally, we anticipate announcing a FAST channel platform in the near future to also enhance and broaden our narrative, both give us an opportunity to extend our reach. What is a FAST channel? Free ad-supported television. That's the acronym. That's what FAST stands for. Free ad-supported television is, as the name suggests, free and funded by ads, meaning viewers can watch live and on-demand content without having to pay for a cable package or streaming service. How does FAST work? FAST channels work by streaming ad-supported content from broadcast networks and other content providers. It's a system built on licensing existing shows and movies which are monetized through ads, making them completely free to the viewer. FAST channels combine the comfort of traditional broadcast within the streaming landscape, where the viewer has no control over programming, versus traditional subscription streaming, which requires a viewer to actively find and select a program from a streaming platform. This model has become increasingly popular as an alternative to traditional cable packages and streaming subscriptions. Firstly, because it's free, so no monthly fees or contracts. But another appealing aspect of FAST TV is its simplicity. All you need is an internet connection, and you can start watching your favorite shows right away. So the FAST channel, the Big 12 FAST channel, when it's finally announced and launched, content provided, I'm kind of curious what's going to be on there. I'm sure it will not replace the content on Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus. I think it'll be a complement to the content provided on Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus. But Some folks don't want to spend extra money for ESPN Plus. So some content I think will be made available that those Big 12 fans will enjoy watching on the new Big 12 Fast channel. Did some digging. The burnt orange people, the Texas Longhorns, for those who don't know who I refer to as the burnt orange people, recently renamed the Longhorn Network and reestablished it or relaunched it as a fast channel as of July 1st. The University of Texas launched its reimagined LHN Longhorn Network as a live and on-demand streaming service on July 1. Powered by Endeavor Streaming in partnership with Learfield Studios, the leader in college athletics original content. The streaming service brings Texas fans worldwide. So you just replace Texas with Big 12. Worldwide access to original content and live programming, as well as some of the most significant games from the past decade, spanning all 21 of UT's athletics programs. The free LHN app is available on mobile phones, tablets, computers, and connected streaming devices. So I mentioned that because I believe that the Big 12's own fast channel will have similarities to what the Longhorns have launched or did launch on July 1st regarding content on its fast channel. More from UT. While all live competitions will still be shown across the SEC rights holders networks, LHN will be the exclusive outlet for Texas Athletics original content. So again, replace UT Athletics with the Big 12. Produced by Learfield Studios and Texas Studios, the network will feature highlights, exclusive behind-the-scenes access to sports programs, interviews with student athletes, or as I say, student assets, and coaches, a 24/7 channel, and replays of the greatest games in ESPN's Longhorn Network archive. Learfield Studios and Texas Athletics are currently in development of content franchises with new series and episodes debuting this fall. On LHN, fans will also be able to watch game week and post-game press conferences. So again, I think the Big 12 will provide that similar content on its Big 12 Fast channel. In addition to the post-game press conferences, also see live football game statcasts with play-by-play radio audio. Additionally, coaches shows such as the Longhorns Weekly will be available on the platform. So there you go. I added that content because I know the Longhorns just recently launched it. They announced it with a press release about 3 weeks ago. But with Commissioner Yormark announcing that the Big 12 will have its own fast channel, I wanted to kind of give some context of what I think the Big 12's new fast channel will provide and make available to its fans of its Big 12 member schools. Earlier Thursday, the NCAA Men's Basketball Committee announced some changes, some news. At its annual summer meeting, the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Committee approved Indianapolis as the host site for the 2026 Division II and III Men's Basketball Championship games, as well as the semifinals and finals of the National Invitation Tournament, NIT, with all 5 games scheduled the same weekend as the men's Final Four, which was previously awarded to the city. The Final Four, the men's Final Four, will take place April 4th and 6th, 2026 at Lucas Oil Stadium, an announcement that was first made in 2018. It will mark the 9th time that Indy will serve as host of men's college basketball's premier event. I'm putting that in there because they did not do that in the press release. The Horizon League and IU Indy will serve as co-hosts. Today's announcement means 3 additional champions will be crowned in the Circle City that weekend. The NIT will play its semifinals Thursday, April 2nd at Butler's Hinkle Fieldhouse, with the title game scheduled for Sunday, April 5th at a time and venue to be announced. Sunday's schedule will also include the Division 2 and 3 championship games, which will be played downtown at Gamebridge Fieldhouse. This is the second time the NCAA will conduct its 3 men's basketball championships on one weekend in the same city. The first was in Atlanta in 2013. The 3 NCAA women's basketball championships were hosted in the same city on the same weekend in 2016 in Indy and again in Dallas in 2023. So it has been done before. BS3 Sports, thank you. Good afternoon to you. Thank you for your support and this platform. Some news for stat heads. The committee also spent considerable time discussing principles and procedures for selecting, seeding, and bracketing teams, and affirmed that the 2025 championship will feature an automatic qualifier from each of the 31 conferences to go along with the best 37 at-large teams as determined by the committee. The evaluation of teams will be enhanced by the addition of 2 metrics, as the committee voted to include the Torvik and wins against bubble rankings on the team sheets. The committee also received updates from representatives from TNT and CBS Sports and discussed several tournament operations and ticketing issues, future site selections, H-Town, and officiating matters, including adopting referee push-to-talk microphone technology for the entire tournament, beginning in 2025, to better communicate results of video reviews to broadcast viewers and in-venue fans. The NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Committee also is conducting its annual summer meetings this week, and a recap of that meeting will be distributed upon its conclusion later on today, Thursday afternoon. But back to the new metrics added for evaluation. The Torvik, currently, last I saw, the Torvik metrics, Torvik calculations, numbers, rank the Houston Cougars men's team number 1. Just a little sidebar there. Just saying. Now, some big money news on this edition, this July 11th edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E. And if you're watching on YouTube, watching on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, click on that shop button. Buy you some merch. Click on buy you a Houston Roundball Review mug. Buy you a cap. Buy you a shirt. A lot of Roundball Review merch. Or if you don't want to do that, don't have time, don't want to do that, okay, no worries. There's another way to support the Houston Roundball Review. You can do it the easy way, I think. Zelle, Houston Roundball Review at gmail.com. Once again, Houston Roundball Review at gmail.com, and support the Roundball Review via Zelle. Or if you want to do it bigger and want to advertise on this show, advertise at THEHRR.com. Once again, advertise at THEHRR.com. Sports media guru Andrew Marchand was the first person to break this news Wednesday, July 10th, that the NBA had finalized the details for its next media rights deal with new media partners. A lot of money. The NBA and network execs finalized contracts that will make NBC. Everybody remembers the NBA on NBC back in the 90s, that era dominated by a certain bald-headed gentleman playing for a team in red, last name Jordan. But NBA finalized contracts with NBC and Amazon Prime Video, new partners, while maintaining ABC/ESPN as the home of the NBA Finals, under agreements that will extend for 11 seasons. 11 seasons and be worth $76 billion. $76 billion over 11 seasons. While the NBA and its partners agreed to all the language, incumbent TNT Sports continues to threaten to match. The CEO of TNT Sports parent company, Warner Brothers Discovery's David Zaslav, has publicly stated he may attempt to use language in the current contract to remain involved with the NBA. If Zaslav goes through with that, he is expected to target Amazon's package. Good luck to him, but I think it's too late. So sorry, move on, but whatever. But under the new NBA TV deals with ESPN, NBC, and Amazon Prime, the regular season would feature national telecasts nearly 7 days a week, according to sources briefed on the agreements that Andrew Marchand from The Athletic was able to see. The NBA will borrow a page from the NFL, as following the end of football's regular season, NBC will have the NBA succeed the highest rated primetime show on television, which is Sunday Night Football, while on Thursdays, Amazon will do the same after its Thursday Night Football coverage concludes. During the entire regular season, Amazon Prime Video is anticipated to have its other games streamed predominantly on Friday nights and Saturdays. NBC will have games throughout the full NBA season on Tuesdays. Peacock, NBC's streaming service, is expected to have exclusive telecasts on Mondays. That's interesting. That's going to go against my college viewing. But oh well. Peacock will also simulcast all the NBC games. ESPN will broadcast about 80 regular season games, down from around 100 now. During the NFL season, games will air on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, with its Saturday night game being its special ABC window. After the NFL season, ESPN will have Friday night action as well. All three platforms will have playoff games, while Amazon Prime Video will be the home of the in-season tournament. Amazon and NBC will alternate showing conference finals. ESPN will have a conference final and the NBA finals each season. BS3 Sports, this is your money, your territory. ESPN is paying $2.6 billion, just slightly less than the $2.7 billion it pays the NFL. The NBA agreed to keep the finals on ABC/ESPN exclusively. NBC is expected to pay $2.5 billion per season, while Amazon is going to dole out $1.8 billion per year. Whew, that's so much money. So much money. And of course, with the bumps in the media rights deals, that means the salary cap's going to go up for the teams in the NBA. That means player salaries will balloon, will skyrocket. You're going to see folks like OKC's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic, probably at some point Boston's Jason Tatum, making $80 million a year. $80 million a year. And then further into that 11-year media rights deal, there will be a player or two receiving $100 million per season. $100 million per season. $100 million in a season. One season. Morning to you, Tran. The Summer Rockets play the Summer Lakers Friday on ESPN, 6:30 p.m. Central. So that's 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. These final moments, as I've touched on a lot, cover a lot of different topics today on this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E. HCU women's basketball has a new coach, new assistant coach. Wednesday afternoon, HCU head women's basketball coach Donna Finney announced the addition of Diana Wilson-Jones to her staff as assistant coach. Wilson-Jones joins the HCU staff after spending the last year as assistant coach and recruiting coordinator at Loyola New Orleans, where she was an integral part of a staff that led to a top 25 Wolfpack team to the NAIA Sweet 16. Loyola posted an overall record of 26-5 with a 15-3 mark in SSAC play and won the SSAC tournament championship. Quote from Coach Finney: "We are delighted to have Diana join our program. She has great recruiting connections in the South and good experience at her previous schools in developing student athletes. Diana will be able to jump in immediately and help us with our point guards and also recruiting the next class of Huskies. I am excited to bring Diana's energy to Sharp Gym this year," end quote. Prior to her season at Loyola, Wilson-Jones was also an assistant coach at Midwestern State, her alma mater, for 3 seasons. She coached 1 season at Temple College after working as a grad assistant at Midwestern State in 2016-2017. Oh, the minimum salaries. Bobby, thank you for chiming in. Thank you for your comment. Welcome to the channel, to the show. Don't be a stranger. You've been here before. Tell your friends. Yes, indeed. It will be very interesting to see what the minimum NBA salary will go to after the new TV agreement starts. All right, this is for Tran. He touched on it right here. Florida State to the Big 12, blah, 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 blah. Clemson on the way. Yahoo Sports' Ross Dellinger said July 10th, and everyone's run with it, said that the Big 12 is in early discussions with Florida State and Clemson about becoming members. That was July 10th. June 24th. Now flip it around here. Okay, you're a Big Ten guy.
Nope.
I was going to say, will the Big Ten want Florida State or Clemson?
No.
Will the Big Ten want North Carolina?
That's a possibility.
Okay, fair enough.
Carolina and Duke.
Fair enough. So, if the Big Ten does not want Florida State and Clemson, I'm not certain. Oh, I'll get back to it. Question for you, sir. Will you be attending the Grambling Ohio State game?
Next year, yep.
So looking forward to that. Any word yet on the band? Will the band be there yet?
Have not heard yet. I did confirm. I thought the cost is $1 million. So Grambling will receive, I believe their football budget for this year was last year was 4.7 million. So $1 million next year will go to Grambling for them to come up here and suit up against the Buckeyes.
Yes, play the third and fourth string Buckeyes. Yes,
I didn't say that. You said that.
I said that. Yeah. But yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if the Big Ten does not want Florida State and Clemson, I'm not certain the SEC would want Florida State and Clemson.
No, I agree with that.
Then what?
Therein lies the issue.
Because I didn't watch it. The person who put it out there is really things kind of shaky on their source of info and stuff. Brett Yormark would take Florida State and Clemson.
I believe it.
But the money wouldn't be nearly what they could get from the Big Ten or SEC. Right?
Oh, without question. I agree. Yeah.
Unless, of course, this is all part of his master plan of private equity.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's where he's going, because the Weatherfords, Drew and his brothers, have their own private capital corporation, whatever, which Florida State is linked. Drew Weatherford is a Florida State alum. Played QB there.
Really? Player, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's part of Commissioner Yormark's 3D chess.
It's possible.
So we'll see. But yeah, the Big Ten, and first things first, Florida State and Clemson, they have to resolve their court cases with the ACC first and foremost before anybody considers having them as membership. So when that is resolved, time will tell. We shall see. So there you go. Willie Gibson and I discussed that possibility June 24th on our episode 129 of Folks Talking Sports about possible Brett Yormark's 3D chess and his master plan to get Florida State and Clemson to join the Big 12. Just saying. Wrapping it up on this edition of the Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E. The Big 12 announced its partnership with TuneIn Radio for its audio coverage. The football season kicks off on August 29th. But I heard yesterday that the Big 12 and TuneIn will launch something today on July 11th. So check it out and see. But yes, the Big 12 and TuneIn are now partners. The Commissioner Yormark announced the Big 12 will create its own FAST channel. The Commissioner talking about private equity. I talked about that earlier in the show. You can watch the rebroadcast of the show. A lot of Big 12 coverage on today's show, but a FAST channel. FAST stands for Free Ad-Supported Television. That platform would allow more content, Big 12 content, for the Commissioner to share the Big 12 narrative. That channel will be free. And based on, as the name indicates, supported by ads. Be streamed. All you need is an internet connection. So keep that in mind for once the Big 12's FAST channel is announced and made official. That'll do it for this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Fire TV, courtesy of the BS3 Network. Lastly, support the Roundball Review. Click on that shop button. Buy you some merch like this Roundball Review mug. Advertise on the show. Advertise at thehrr.com. If you want to do it the Zelle way and support the Roundball Review this way, Zelle, Houston Roundball Review at gmail.com. Subscribe to the channel on Houston Roundball Review at YouTube. Spread the word, tell your friends, and always keep this in mind. Since 1994, the Houston Roundball Review, local name, global perspective. Everyone, Take care. Peace.